What do you get when you combine a 40 million rand office block, outdated booking systems, and permit rules made up on the back of a napkin? The death of small tourism businesses in Cape Town's Atlantis Dunes. Let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say once again, thank you so much for all of you that have donated in order to get Stolen Ground 2 and 3 off the ground. Stolen Ground 2 and 3 will be investigating the land grabs that are happening in Grabouw and Hermanus. That's right, I said happening. In the little bit of research that I have already done, wow, there's a lot to unpack, but I cannot do this alone. So please head on over to the BackaBuddy campaign. If 4,000 people donated 50 Rand each, we would hit our goal. We are getting so close to that goal. So once again, thank you all so much who have donated. If you want to, you can pause the video right now and scan this QR code and head on over to the BackaBuddy campaign. If you're not watching this on TV, don't worry. You can head on over to the link in the description or pinned comment. And if you prefer EFT details are also there. Help me uncover the truth behind land grabs in South Africa. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Newsflash. I'm your host, Emilio. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, today's story is going to be a very interesting one, and I actually went on location for this story, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start from here, because today we're talking about a case study in how red tape and bad governance strangle small businesses, even in places that are supposed to be tourist jewels. The Witzands Aquifer Nature Reserve, or better known as Atlantis Dunes, is a top adventure tourism spot. International visitors, local families, tour operators, everyone loves it. But the city of Cape Town has decided that instead of fixing their broken system, they'll punish the very businesses that make the dunes work.
My name is Dylan. I've got a business doing sandboarding tours. I've been doing it for over 15 years. I've been coming to the dunes for more than 20 years. I was doing it for fun, really, and I later became a tour guide around 2007. Then it was just logical to share what I am passionate about and offer the sandboarding tours. And we try and give people the best experience. We transfer people to the top of the dune so they don't have to walk up, so it takes the pain out of getting to the top of the dune. And we're a small business. We like to be a small business. So the people that manage the dunes, the way they do things is quite outdated. So they've got a permit office, which is run by a person that's got to use a slow, outdated bookings permit system that doesn't really work very often. So in the beginning, when it started getting busy, there would be massive queues of people just trying to buy the permits on the day. We always ask them, please make an online booking system. It just makes it so much easier for the public and everybody else. There are facilities for that. Quicket is one good example, but there are numerous ones. And then we always get told they've got to work within these parameters they have made for themselves, and they can't do things privately. They've got to put a tender out and spend millions developing booking system, which is so unnecessary in 2025. After COVID, local tourism exploded. We get a lot of tourists from South Africa that are coming to the dunes, as well as international tourism. When they built the facilities here about 5 years ago, they were trying to encourage people starting businesses here and to grow tourism. So that's been very successful, obviously. Now they are saying that they are concerned about overcrowding, and in the dunes there is no overcrowding. The overcrowding happens at the permit office, which is outdated, and in the car park when it's busy. But once people are through the entrance and in the dunes, there's no overcrowding. There is a second entrance called Gate 2, but they refused to use it. But they could use that as an exit to try and alleviate it, or let commercial operators operate from there. For me, the biggest thing I can't believe that they just hide is that the money they make from the permits, which is millions, they've already paid for this 40 million rand building. None of that goes back to this place, to managing this place. They're still on the same tendered budget for 6 staff members, and it's grown exponentially. Why does none of the permit money come back to managing this place properly? Most people assume when they pay a permit, the money goes to managing the place they're entering and making it nicer and better. So there is money for them to do this. They just need to open up the coffers. The way I understand it, the way City of Cape Town works is they don't use the money generated at places to run them. They've got some other system they do that's outdated. It's just frustrating when you know there's money that they can use to have more people doing like patrols in the dunes and making sure everyone's following the rules, and they could make better parking. Currently, they built the office for Cape Nature and their private accommodation and private parking within the old original car park. We told them then there's not enough parking. All they have to do is use some of the land moving machinery they have here already to clear some alien vegetation and make a dirt car park for overflow when it's busy. But we've sent them numerous logical solutions to the problems, and it falls on deaf ears. But our biggest problem now is from the 12th of August, they're implementing these limited permits for different activities. But the biggest problem is there's no booking system. So me as a tour operator, people might book 3 months, 6 months, a year ahead of time, or they might just book on the day, a few hours before. But no matter what booking it is, I don't know until I get here on the day if they're going to be able to give me a permit or not. It's 2025 now, guys. You need to come up with something better than that. It's going to affect tourism in a big way. The locals that visit here, they come on their 4x4s and quad bikes to enjoy the reserve. They are going to be completely not happy that they can't get in here because of these ignorant limitations of entry permits. Table Mountain National Park does not chase people away when they visit Table Mountain. They're proud of their statistics. Boulders Beach, it is a small location. They do stop people coming in when it's full. But then as people leave, they let more people in. So they have a logical system. So all we're pleading for is, treat us with dignity. We have families, we have employees. We're trying our best. What they're going to do is going to put everybody out of business. And the person that's going to win is the most kind of ruthless operator that doesn't care about messing people's bookings around. Treat us fairly, please. We want to work with them, but they don't want to sit at a table and come up with a logical solution.
Now, think about this for a second. It's 2025, but the city still makes everyone queue at a permit office that closes for lunch and often doesn't even work. They're limiting daily permits with numbers they admit are basically thumbsucked. And the kicker? The millions they've earned from permits don't go back into the dunes. Not a cent.
Why?
Instead, they build a massive 40 million rand office block on what used to be the parking lot, cutting capacity in half. Because nothing says tourism development like taking away parking from tourists. This isn't about biodiversity or safety. That's the excuse. Dylan's right. Once you're inside the dunes, there's no overcrowding. The only overcrowding is in the car park and at the permit office.
One of the other issues here is there's no enforcement of rules or laws or even the current code of conduct. They don't enforce anything. It's just kind of like a free-for-all once you're in here. And there's a lot of people in this country that are here on like refugee kind of status and are unemployed, as we all know. And people are opportunistic. So if they see opportunity, they're going to use it. And it's common knowledge that you can come here and start a business, whether you've got a work visa or not. Who cares? You'll see in the car park, there's a lot of loitering going on. How's it fair? I've had a business for 20 years. I pay VAT. I'm a registered tour guide. I've done all the safety checks. I've trained my staff. Now I have to compete on a daily basis with people that are not actually lawfully doing anything right. And when we report it, they do nothing. So I understand, everybody needs to survive, but there's just no order here. And then they use that as a reasoning for limiting the permits. So it's not right, in my opinion.
So let's recap. Ethical and legal operators with tax, VAT, and safety compliance get punished, but illegal and reckless operators face no enforcement.
I'm very confused.
And instead of targeting the problem makers, the city's solution is to kneecap everyone equally. That's like having a noisy neighbor blasting music at 2 a.m. and your landlord's solution is to evict the entire building. Now, I tried reaching out to the city of Cape Town for comment. They told me they'd get back to me 2 weeks later. Nothing. Crickets. So here's the reality. This is not ANC's doing. ANC wrecks things nationally, yes, but the city of Cape Town and the Western Cape are DA controlled. The new Code of Conduct was drafted and pushed through by the City of Cape Town's Spatial Planning and Environment Directorate. That's Alderman Eddie Andrews' department. The permits and operations fall under city management, not national government. Premier Alan Winde, also DA, was CC'd in multiple letters from operators. So if you're angry about this, you should be. This is one that is squarely on the DA and the City of Cape Town and provincial structures that ignored months of pleas for solutions. Now, there is one more development that's worth noting, and that's that Dylan and several other operators have actually banded together and brought in legal representation. Their lawyer has formally written to the City of Cape Town outlining all these concerns. The city's response, well, they've said they'll reply to the lawyer's letter on the 5th of September. That means by the time you're watching this, we may be right at the date or very close. So this is not just a story about frustrated businesses. It's entering the legal arena, and we'll be watching closely to see what the city says, if anything, and whether it's a real solution or just another delay. And my heart really goes out to Dylan. This is a man that is trying to make an honest living doing what he loves, sandboarding. This is just a man trying to make an honest living. And while the DA boasts about creating jobs and trying to help grow the economy, this does not look good for the DA. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to help me uncover the truth behind land grabs in South Africa, please don't forget to go to the Back Up Buddy campaign linked in the description below or pinned comment, and EFT details are also available there. And please share this video far and wide. Let's let people know what is happening in the tourism industry right now in Cape Town. People need to hear about this story, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about this? Let me know. Have you gone sandboarding in Cape Town? It's actually a lot of fun. And no matter which platform you're watching this episode on, please drop a like, a follow, or a subscribe, and share this video far and wide. With all that being said, thanks for watching. Your Newsflash is in.
Here's something I didn't know until I was in my 30s. You can squeeze these annoying packages to open them. Okay, here we go.